What's going on, everybody? Reggie, the Front Row Report. I am joined today by the one, the only John Waite. How's it going?
Good, Reggie. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well. Just enjoying the nice weather out here in Indianapolis, and by nice, I mean blistering hot.
Really?
Yeah, it's up. I think it's almost 100 here. It feels like. So.
Oh man, that's not my thing. I can just barely live in Santa Monica. When it gets too hot, I'm lost.
Yeah, I'm ready for the fall. I'm ready for some cooler weather. This is just brutal.
Yeah, no, fall's good. Winter's good. I like winter too.
Yeah, it's got some good stuff. So, but man, you got the new live album just released not too long ago. Live All Access, which I had a chance.
Yeah.
I had a chance to check it out. It's a great live record. You did a good job on that, man.
Yeah. Thank you. It's very raw, very live, and very in tune, which is kind of like weird for a live album. There's no overdubs. We have a new guitar player, Kerry Kelly, that came straight from Alex Cooper.
Nice.
And before that, he's with Slash, with Snake Pit. It's a pretty rocking guitar player. And I think it upped our game. Everybody was waiting for somebody to come in and play a really great guitar. And it just stepped everything up really fast, almost overnight. It took about 6 weeks for him to find his feet. There's no keyboards. Everyone has to fight their corner. Everybody's got to really pay attention, and we got it right. You know, it sounds like my favorite band. So there's no synths, there's no overdubs, there's no corrections. It's all just live, and it's a pretty fierce little record. Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, it's a great live record. It seems like nowadays a lot of people are releasing live records, and sometimes you gotta do something different with it to really set your live record apart from others. It seems like, and from what I understand,
but that would be not overdubbing. I mean, everybody takes it back in the studio and basically just puts the audience in,
right?
Which is total bullshit. But that's how they do it. I mean, they don't. I mean, if any of the arena rock bands dare to, but they're playing to tapes anyway, so. That leads us into a whole different territory there. But, yeah, weird. I prefer, all the live albums that I love the most are really that. It's people playing into each other and making it up as they go along. From Bill Evans, the jazz player, to Jimi Hendrix on New Year's Eve, a band of gypsies, to Free, to the Rolling Stones, Get Your Yayas Out. All the great live albums are purely live.
Yeah, I think that that makes, when it's purely live, that the live album is just better that way, because it gives you, it's like you're there, as close to being there as you can get without being there.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. But that's the point. I mean, I didn't want the control thing of a studio record. I didn't want to record it in a studio and then have an audience. All the tricks that people play to make a live record. But God bless everybody. There's room for everyone to do whatever they want to do. I'm just saying that at this point in my career, I have absolutely no time for bullshit, and I just wanted to get straight to it. So it's live as it gets.
So this was an iTunes exclusive, from what I understand. Can you explain what that means and how that works, and really how that came about?
Well, I just wanted complete autonomy. I've got my own small label, and I own a lot of my own catalog. But I wanted to get this out very quickly, and I didn't want to go through a record company, because the last record company didn't put it in the stores.
Oh.
I was feeling pretty bitter about the distribution thing, so I thought, well, listen, since it's very hard to find a CD store these days, just try it. Just put it up on iTunes. It'll cost as much as it would in a store. But you don't have to go through the problems of distribution and dealing with other business people. I have complete autonomy musically. And if you want a hard copy of the record, you can send it over to johnwaitethesinger.com. Just go online, look it up, and we'll send you one that's signed for the same amount of money. So it's not really exclusive in that respect, but it's not going into the big chain of business. It's just, but everybody downloads now. I downloaded the Stones last week in Hyde Park.
Nice.
And yeah, it's great. So I mean, at some point, it is an experiment, but I'm very, very proud of it. I mean, if I was on Columbia or something, I would say, okay, put it in the shops. I'll go with Columbia. It'd be fabulous. Curb or something. But but I'm not. And interestingly enough, we have a band down in Nashville, Tennessee, called Love and Theft, who've released "If You Ever Get Lonely" as their new single, and it's 44 with a bullet this week and top 20 on GAC. So, you know, that's good news too. So I'm just enjoying the hell out of having that kind of freedom and making the music I want to make. And if you want to get it, go to iTunes. If you want to get a hard copy right away, or just email my website and we'll put it in the mail to you.
It's really cool how technology has really come along with the music industry. There's some not so great parts, but there's also some really cool aspects. And I think that is what you just said is one really cool aspect to how technology has moved along in the music industry. You know, I think it's really cool.
And me too. At first, iTunes, I was thinking, oh no, here we go. And then, but you look back at the record companies and you think, oh no. Because the record companies would, the last job that they want to do is pay you. And if you're on iTunes, it's automatic. So at least you get paid. I mean, a lot of the people that, the whole idea with a record company is to make as much money as possible out of the artist. And then if you cannot pay the artist, then they don't pay them, So and you're dealing with people all the time that are businessmen. And business and music, the music business is like an oxymoron, it's like the two have absolutely nothing to do with each other. Yeah. They just don't, and they never will. And I don't want to go into anyone's office. I don't know what the fuck I would do in somebody's office if I had to go in there. I'd be like, thinking I'm going to get strip searched. I mean, it's just nothing to do with music. So having this power to do what I do, it's fine if it sells 10,000 or if it sells 100,000. It's all great. I'm just making the music I want to make.
Yeah, there's some other things that really come along in the music. We got social media, YouTube, all of these things that are really, really cool tools to help artists. And, especially with Facebook and Twitter, you can really get in touch with your fans. How have some of the, social media, do you personally use those tools? And how do those help you with your music and your work?
Well, I have a website which is run by somebody out of Holland, but it's a worldwide deal. Okay. And we get a lot of hits on that. Facebook is interesting because I actually like to have the conversation with people if they send a message in or a photograph. I get up in the morning and write down what I dreamt. All this week I've been putting my dreams on Facebook. Huh. And then you get like, yeah, it's great. Or if something happens in politics, I'll take a side and put it up there and post it, and you get the most amazing responses. I put up something about 2 weeks ago that was very touchy, but I felt somebody had to say something about something that went down, and I had 250 replies in like 10 minutes. Wow. It's not just yes, like or not like. I mean, people going off. I mean, really upset. And it was great because 98% of those people were on the side of gun control, and they were anti-vigilante people going out there and damaging the world. It's like controlling. It's gun law. I was getting at the point that who should have a gun and who shouldn't, and should we all have a gun, or what's going on? And people came out of the woodwork, and I think that's tremendous. I think if you can argue the point, any point at all on the internet, you're communicating with people. And if I can email somebody in Iran right now, or Iraq, or Afghanistan, anywhere in Persia, or Israel, and talk about what I'm feeling, people generally solve their differences. They really do when they can talk to each other. Yeah, definitely. If the politicians get in the middle, and God help us all, that's really the problem. And I think the internet, I'm getting straight from the point somewhat here, but the internet is like a revolving door. You just get in it, and you can go anywhere. It's fabulous, really. Yeah,
to me it's really cool because, back even maybe 10 years ago, if fans wanted to talk to one of their favorite bands or artists, they could write a letter, to the fan club. But, 9 times out of 10, that band or artist is going to be on tour, maybe isn't going to get that letter, or...
No, absolutely not, no.
But now, you know, you can get all of these tools on your phone. It's like instantaneously communicating back and forth, you know, with
it's a really wonderful world. I saw an advert, not an advert, but I saw in the New York Times, I saw the picture that they're working on for the smart watch or whatever it's going to be called, man, it looks great. I mean, it's like clear plastic, and it's like a small iPhone, you know.
Wow.
But man, it's like really cool, you know. But I mean, we're entering that age where the world is becoming supremely violent, but we're able to talk to each other at the same time. So the only way we're going to end the violence is by debate, you know, by actually talking out loud to each other and trying to solve our differences. Because it's funny that the violence in the world seems to be increasing as the level of communication is increasing. So it's really strange to watch it. It's an exotic thing, but I'm sure that it will solve itself. It's better.
Yeah, I hope it does.
Yeah, me too.
Now, going back a little bit, you mentioned earlier that Love and Theft is released "If You Ever Get Lonely" as a single, and I wanted to get your thoughts. Obviously, I'm sure you've heard their version of the song. How do you feel about what they've done with the song and, you know, their version of it?
Well, we haven't strayed too far from the songs at all. I think they've sped it up a tiny bit. But it's pretty true to the original. And I have pretty strong ties to Nashville in as much as that it's country music and bluegrass. And I've played the Opry, and I've obviously duetted with Alison Krauss on a couple of things, but sang on a record. And I'm a big fan of bluegrass, like Larry Sparks and Del McCurry. I'm pleased that any aspect of country would include me. I'm not a professional songwriter. You know, I write songs, but I don't write for other people.
Right.
I just can't do it. I don't know where to begin. Mm-hmm. I can write about what I go through, and if somebody picks up one of my songs, I'm really thrilled about it. Mm-hmm. There's a song called Bluebird Cafe off the When You Were Mine album. And if Willie Nelson would just do that song, I'd be the happiest guy on the planet. You know, it was almost, you know, when I finished singing it, I thought, that's the best thing I've ever done. But if Willie sang it, it wouldn't be the best thing I'd done. It was the best thing that, you know, could have happened to me.
Nice.
I love country, so I'm just really pleased that they've done it, and I hope they have a number one.
Nice. Yeah, it's always interesting to me to hear, you know, it's got to be a cool feeling when another artist picks up something you've written and recreates it and does well with it. It's got to be humbling, but I'm always interested in hearing what, you know, the original songwriters' thoughts are on that, because there's a lot of covers that get done. You know, covers are very normal and typical, so it's really cool to hear that.
Well, you know, sometimes, I mean, I heard a song the other week that somebody had done of a really masterful original song, and they'd absolutely ruined it. The producer had tried to make it dissonant and kind of weird and put effects on the vocals. And they'd done it for the sheer sake of trying to be original. And they got away from the original, and the original was the whole point.
Yeah.
And you got to be careful. You know, a lot of people are just showing off, and then somebody really loves the song and can really bring something new to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, Mike Reed wrote and sang I Can't Make You Love Me. Mm-hmm. And then Bonnie Raitt sang it, and the clock stopped. You know, it's a beautiful. It would be impossible almost to top that song.
Yeah, I mean, and just look what like Cheyenne has done with Simple Man and other bands like that. Some artists will take a song that's written that's already great, make it their own, and it's just outstanding.
Well, if you can't make it your own, you should stay away from it. But that separates the men from the boys. I mean, that's like I can't sing anything like anybody else. I can sing it once one way, and then you'll never hear it that way again.
Right.
And it's kind of like a curse, you know. A real brilliant singer like Sinatra could probably do the same thing exactly twice over. But I'm so lost in the moment. You know, it's still a mystical experience to me to write songs and to sing them. Okay. So, yeah, it's a strange thing. So, the very fact that I've existed this long is kind of a surprise to everybody that knows me, you know, because, I mean, I'm good at what I do, but I don't know how I do it. So, you know. Okay. What's going on?
I wanted to talk about this. You worked with Kyle Cook not too long ago. From Matchbox.
Yeah, great.
How did that come about? What was that experience like working with him on that project?
Well, There's a guy in Indianapolis called Jeff Worley.
Okay.
And he's been an old friend of mine for a long time, for about 10 years. We did a benefit in Las Vegas every year for a women's shelter called Shade Tree. Well, he was living in Vegas, and he moved back to Indianapolis, and he's a friend of Kyle's. And for years he would be saying, you got to find Kyle and write a song with him. I just got a good feeling about it. You got to do it. And I kept saying, yeah, all right, yeah. Because I get a lot of offers to do that. And after about a year and a half of that, I was in Nashville, and I had a week where I wasn't doing anything, and I kind of called him up out of the blue and said, "You want to get together?" And we met on Music Row in a writer's room, and we banged out Better Off Gone, basically, the basics of Better Off Gone, in the first hour and a half that we were together.
Nice.
And we wrote 4 songs, I think, in about 3 weeks. But I mean, we have a real chemistry, and he joined us on tour for the American tour playing guitar because our guitar player bailed on us about 2 weeks before we were supposed to go. Yeah, no, it's fantastic to play with somebody of that caliber. And then it gets better. And then when we had to tour Europe and we had no guitar player, he came to Europe and did the European tour.
Wow.
So when I played Lancaster, my hometown, for the first time since I was 17, at the Grand Theatre, it's the oldest running theatre in Britain, Dickens came and recited one of his books there.
Wow.
And I think Paganini played there, yeah. I went there once when I was 6 to see Wind in the Willows. I hadn't been back since then. It was a very emotional experience, but I had my American band with me when I played in my hometown of Lancaster. And Kyle was just, he's such a gifted guitar player. I think he really enjoyed playing rock. I think he was, whatever Matchbox are up to, I think in his heart he just wants to play great guitar. But he certainly did. And it's been nothing but a plus experience for me. He's a stand-up guy.
That is awesome. John, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me. It's been great.
Thank you.
And again, thank you so much.
Thank you. I really enjoyed it. I hope all the readers get a kick out of the Indianapolis connection.
I hope so.
Yeah, me too. Okay, so God bless. See you soon.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Bye-bye.